Breaking news, Border Patrol literally stole our footage in order to produce another one of its absurd dystopian propaganda films, making the Border Patrol commander, Greg Bovino, appear like some Rambo, G.I. Joe, G.I. Jackass, if you ask me, figure. You want to see what real independent journalism funded by the people for the people looks like?
You ever heard a story like this in America?
You're looking at it.
Congratulations for always being somewhere where mainstream media is not.
Flint, Michigan.
See you in Nevada.
Thanks to people like you, we can get the truth. Corporate media, they've been lying to us for years, and you're going straight to the people.
You are the man. I'm glad you're here.
For as low as 16 cents a day, you'll keep us on the ground, covering the important stories the corporate media covers up. So the other day, our cameraman and reporter, JT Siskowski, were on the ground outside the federal courthouse in Chicago as Bovino appeared in front of the court, in front of the judge. As a reminder, if you don't know, we have been on the ground in Chicago for over a month, covering this invasion, this violence, this terror campaign unleashed by the president. It is very expensive, and we are actually independent, unlike some other outlets who claim to be. Please, full transparency, we've spent over 10 grand to be out there with our reporter, our cameraman, all the expenses that go with this. If you appreciate living, breathing, independent, on-the-ground journalism, support us for as low as $5 a month. StatusCoup.com/join. So as Bovino was coming outside the court, he jumped on top of his car, the guardrail, and did this bizarre salute with his hands, kind of looked a little close to a Roman salute to me. And our great cameraman, Jon Farina, got that on tape. Let's show you.
Shame on every single one of you!
Bobino, fuck you, bitch! Shame on her! These motherfuckers are from the FBI agent! These motherfuckers are the same ones that were...
I don't know who has a better copyright case, us or Coldplay, because isn't that a Coldplay song that they're remixing? I digress. What happened to this massive budget that they got? Remember, from Trump's big, beautiful bank robbery bill? They got nearly $200 billion. And frankly, it seems they've been spending quite a lot of it on their Hollywood-esque propaganda videos. This is how much money they got from Trump's big, beautiful bank robbery. A total of $170 billion. I actually think it's more than that. And $51 billion for construction, maintenance of Trump's wall, $450 million funding in state to local law enforcement to support this terror, $45 billion ICE detention centers, et cetera, et cetera. But $170 billion, yet they have to steal Status Coup's footage. More specifically, the great Jon Farina's footage. So we put in a DMCA copyright violation demand to Mr. Musk's X, to take it down because they don't have our permission. They didn't reach out to us. They also did not courtesy us to use that footage. And we don't want them using anything tied to us for their absurd, fascist, dystopian propaganda to make this guy look like Rambo mixed with, GQ covers, because they mixed in him and his, fatigues out there to fight the terror in Chicago that they are creating. They mixed in those images with him in his little, leather coat or whatever that was, looking all suave. I guess not surprisingly, Twitter denied our takedown request, basically lying about what happened. Hello, we have received your DMCA takedown notice. We've evaluated your claims and have determined no further action is warranted. It was determined that the content identified in your complaint falls within fair use policy based on the purpose the content was used. We'll get back to that. While citing the original author, please see, and they gave us the link to their DMCA center. So let's start with based on the purpose the content was used for. My understanding of fair use is it has to be for educational purposes or you have to be adding something to it, like your own commentary. You can't just play somebody else's material without your own commentary or additional original content applied to it. In some cases, you could use it if it's a very short snippet. But they used about, I believe, 7 to 10 seconds of our content. And then they say, and citing the original author, there was no credit given to Status Coup. Not in their video, not for a lower third, courtesy Status Coup, not within Twitter's infrastructure. There was none of that. So listen, if I had the budget of the New York Times, if I had the budget of CNN, maybe we'd go to war with Mr. Musk. Unfortunately, I do not. But if you're watching, or a bigger outlet has a little bigger budget and wants to go in with me, I would love to take Twitter to court, because they literally are allowing Border Patrol to steal actual investigative on the ground journalism and important footage, I believe, showing, fascists with kind of bizarre hand salutes. They're stealing that footage, not courtesying us, certainly not paying for the footage. And then other outlets are then taking the footage and showing that footage from Border Patrol. So our footage is being first stolen by Border Patrol ICE and then stolen second, third, fourth hand. I really want you to listen to me. We've shown you they tossing tear gas canisters into yards of residential homes. We've shown you babies have been tear gassed just being in the vicinity of the tear gas. We've shown you them assaulting elderly people, assaulting veterans. They want you to think that they are cleaning up crime, but the reality is he is creating the crime. He's also low-key stoking violence against the federal judge. In a new filing in the Bovino immigration cases, it included the translation of his Friday Telemundo interview in which Bovino references U.S. District Judge Sarah Ellis. That's the judge who ordered him to appear before her in court every day at 6 o'clock Central, which DOJ just appealed. And for now, he's not having to do that. He said in this interview, was she hit in the head with a rock? Maybe she needs to see what that's like before issuing an order like that. I don't know about you, but if I said that on public, maybe a judge needs to be hit by a rock to know what I'm dealing with. I'm pretty sure the police would be at my door pretty quickly, because that is an implicit threat. And based on the political violence we have seen over the last few years, much of which is from the right wing, that could be stoking people to be violent towards that judge. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's saying. And he's also, to be clear, a little bit of a chicken shit. This is what he said on Fox News. Hey, I'm totally ready and willing to appear before the judge every day. I want to show her firsthand the horrors of what I'm dealing with in the streets of Chicago. Take a listen to this.
If she wants to meet with me every day, then she's going to see, she's going to have a very good firsthand look at just how bad things really are on the streets of Chicago. I look forward to meeting with that judge to show her exactly what's happening and the extreme amount of violence perpetrated against law enforcement here.
So you look forward to meeting with her every day, yet the Department of Justice had to appeal the decision for you to be in front of that judge every day, because the judge, you violated the judge's order pretty much the day after. There was an order for Border Patrol to stop, and ICE, to stop unleashing tear gas on protesters, journalists, violated that 7 ways to Sunday. And then she dressed you down in court, basically saying, well, apparently you don't understand the ruling. Of course, he does. I think she should have held him in contempt and put him in jail, because that's what you do to normal people, particularly working people. When people violate judges' orders, you get held in contempt and thrown into jail. But I digress. They certainly aren't trying to hide who they are, and they certainly don't care about stealing video footage for their propaganda efforts. For those who might want to team up with us to go after legally, Border Patrol, DHS, and or Twitter, feel free to reach out. Jordan Sheridan at StatusCoup.com. And please, again, we are still on the ground in Chicago. We've been over there on the ground for over a month. It is very expensive. We've already spent over $10,000, and that's before we get to paying our reporters, cameramen, producer, editor, and fixed monthly costs. This is just on travel, flights, hotels, rent-a-car, food, gas, safety equipment we've had to get. So if you actually appreciate real living, breathing journalism, support us as a member for as low as $5 a month. You get great perks, including our monthly members video call.